Well, today, passers-by and local artists were in shock to discover a number of Black Lives Matter paintings were knocked down in downtown Huntsville. Around half of the paintings at the Time for Art Evolution project on Clinton Avenue are lying flat, with the metal framing mounts either bent or broken. One person told an artist that they witnessed the paintings being knocked down by strong winds during recent storms. But artists are skeptical. Organizers are not sure how much their repairs will cost at this time. We'll keep an eye on this story as it develops.